Summer is fast approaching, and I think it's time we took a little bit of stress out of our lives, isn't it? With HelloFresh UK, you can get all the ingredients and inspiration you need to make your meal times and your cooking experience simpler than ever. HelloFresh provides a number of recipes and meals to make your life as easy as possible and also caters to a wide range of different dietary requirements. Use my special discount to get 50% off your first order plus 35% off the next three and 3 free gifts as well. What more could you ask for? Check out the discount link or the checkout code down in the description below. Well, our weekend of EFL playoff final preview shows continue as we move to Sunday and turn our attention to the League Two playoff final at Wembley. After two semi-finals that were both tense and grueling and went beyond the initial 180 minutes, it is 4th v 5th, the top two seeds make it to Wembley, and it is Carlisle United versus Stockport County. We'll talk about how they both got there and put our preview and predictions in for the final in a minute. But firstly, let's have a quick recap of what we predicted for the semi-final second legs. So of all of the leagues and playoff prediction shows so far, I think this is the one we've probably done best in. We predicted a Carlisle win, albeit by 2-0 instead of 3-1, and after extra time they progressed to the final, so 1 point for us there. And we also called that Stockport versus Salford would go all the way to penalties, and okay, on the flip of a coin we got the wrong winner in the end, but we predicted it was going all the way, and my word was it tense. A brilliant penalty shootout, we'll reflect on that in a moment, but let's have a look at who the stars were in the comments as well. Because Chris and Steve, two of our regulars, both got the playoff final prediction correct, and Chris even said that Stockport would win on pens, so a brilliant effort from both of you. Well done on your predictions. And again, as always, as we go into the final, when we go through our preview, let me know what you think the score will be down in the comments as well. But let's move on to Sunday's showpiece event, a 1:30 kickoff at Wembley. Due to the end of the season being delayed from the World Cup, we've got a bit of a bizarre schedule this weekend. But it is Carlisle United versus Stockport County. It is a massive game at Wembley for two sides from the north of England. And Stockport, well, they're looking to make it back-to-back, whereas Carlisle looking to return to League One in their first playoff appearance since 2017. But let's talk about Stockport County first, just because that was the earlier game on the Saturday. A 2-1 win against Salford after extra time, and my word, did it cause some tension. We went all the way to penalties in front of a packed-out Edgeley Park, and Stockport continued their momentum of the second half of the season, and of last season too, in fairness. They've been brilliant. They won 1-0 over 90 minutes, they got the tie to that mark and beyond, and that is the most important thing to start. They also showed incredible resilience because after conceding a deflected goal pretty late on in extra time, it would have been easy to crumble. But up steps the promotion machine himself, Anthony Sarcevic on the pitch just before the equaliser in normal time. He then sets up the equaliser in extra time. A few minutes later, he's wheeling away, having fired in the winning penalty in the shootout. What a day it was for him. What a day for Ben Hinchcliffe in goal. And you know what? Stockport, when it really mattered, showed the ultimate resilience. So a massive credit to them. Anthony Sarcevic, of course, one of the first ever pros to come on this podcast. We've got a bit of a soft spot for him. You can find that interview in the eye above, incidentally. But what a man he was. What a performance from Stockport. And the interesting thing I find coming into this is they have adapted their game a little bit without Kyle Wootton, who of course was a key figurehead for them in attack this season. Paddy Madden, still a very experienced frontman though. And they've got a bit of experience in the team. But the same goes for Carlisle United. If we move on to them very quickly and their semi-final against Bradford, from 1-0 down in the away leg, just like Stockport, they came back with a vengeance. Again, they got it to that 90-minute mark, an own goal. It was a very tense game yet again. Both of them pretty tight. But over the course, I don't think you can complain that Carlisle deserved to win it. 15,000 at Brunton Park was brilliant to see as well. It's a great ground. And it's another experienced side. You've got Joe Garner through the middle. Talk about experienced frontmen. It's going to be a battle of the two when we get to Wembley. But then add the likes of Paul Huntingdon in defence, skipper in the side. They've also got 2 or 3 who have been there through the recent disappointing seasons and probably know how much it means to the fans to have a great year. It really is two sides that have got a wealth of experience and a wealth of quality and depth on the bench too. You look at the two subs bench last Saturday, You can see why those sides are in the top 7. When it comes to Wembley, we've got the same problem as we had in the semi-finals. The 4 sides in the playoffs were separated by 4 points. These two, over the course of 46 games, were separated by 3 points. You've got a side in 5th place, Carlisle, who, yes, have lost 1 less, but have won 2 less as well. They've struggled to win as many games, but they've stayed in more. You've got a team that have scored 1 more in Carlisle against a team that have conceded 6 less in Stockport County. And we saw when Stockport came up in the National League last year, the big difference between them and Wrexham was the defensive unit in the moments that mattered. And you look at the likes of Fraser Horsfall, you look at Ben Hinchcliffe in goal, and the experienced Chris Hussey, there is quality and there is know-how in that Stockport County defence. It's going to be a very difficult game. We've of course got the element of VAR in the EFL finals, which I didn't mention yesterday in the Championship one. And I just feel that this has got all the hallmarks of going a very long way. I look at what the two teams are going to set up and do is whether Carlisle can get enough runners off Joe Garner on a big Wembley pitch. Similarly for Stockport, Paddy Madden an experienced frontman, but around that, the likes of Lemon, High Evans, Rydell, Sarcevic if he plays or comes on, and Will Collar too. These are players that like to get in behind, that like to push on. And I wonder if having those runners is going to make the difference, because ultimately, both sides have got to try and exploit the other defence, which has been relatively strong this season. For me, I've got a bit of a soft spot for both of these clubs, so I wouldn't actually mind which one comes up. I do feel that of the two, Stockport may be slightly better equipped. That is also partly suggested in their form over the season against each other in a head-to-head, a 2-2 draw at Carlisle and a 2-0 win for Stockport at home, 4 points out of 6. But as we said in yesterday's video, it's very hard to go into the stats and the analytics for these games because generally Wembley finals aren't decided that way, and we saw that in the National League, for example, last week. So these sides being separated by 3 points over the season, it really is a flip of the coin and who deals with the occasion better. Stockport obviously have that recent experience of being in a title race, gaining promotion, albeit from the National League automatically, and Carlisle a few years out of the playoffs, but they were in outside relegation fights even last season, so they have got experience of playing under pressure. It makes it an incredibly tough game to predict. Stockport's head-to-head this season and the fact that they finished a place higher and they got promoted last year, I just feel they're going to have enough. I don't begrudge either side going up. It's 2 great stories either way, and it would be great to see both of them in League One. As it is, it's only going to be one on the day, and I'm going to go for Stockport County to edge it. I'm going to go for the same score they had after extra time on Saturday. 2-1 to Stockport County against Carlisle. And I just feel those big hitters in the squad are going to make the difference. I know I joke about Sarcevic being a promotion machine, but he's done it with Stockport, he's done it with Bolton, he's done it with Plymouth. That man is no stranger to promotions, and I've got a feeling he might be adding another one to his CV here. So against all of the stats and the wisdom for this game, I am going to go for it to be over in 90 minutes, and I'm going to go for Stockport to edge it by 2-1. On a serious note though, I hope both sets of fans enjoy it. Have a great time at Wembley and enjoy your weekend. Make a good day of it. In the meantime, let's have a quick recap of what I've predicted, and I have gone for this to be wrapped up in 90 minutes. Only just, I'm going for Stockport to win it by 2-1 against Carlisle. But it doesn't matter what I think. Let me know in the comments what you predict for this final. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you want to win? And what do you think the score's going to be? Either way, a brilliant season for both teams. A brilliant story, whoever comes up. And who knows, if I get luck on Saturday and my prediction right on Sunday, it could be the Hatters winning at Wembley on both days of this weekend. If you did enjoy this video and light-hearted preview of the League 2 playoff final, then please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe for regular content from the Honest Football Podcast. We did have the Championship playoff final preview yesterday. That's in the eye above, but I warn you, I'm a Luton fan, so I tried my best to be balanced, but I probably talked nonsense. We'll be back with the League 1 final preview tomorrow. So much more to get excited about. And then next week, me and Craig will review our pre-season predictions for all 3 leagues. Thank you very much for watching as always though. Your support is greatly appreciated. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the League 1 playoff final preview.